Hey everyone, how you're doing? So today I thought I would do another really simple recipe video, and this one is for something that I basically do not ever see in restaurants, in supermarkets, anywhere, basically like literally anywhere. Gluten-free calzone. So if you don't know what a calzone is or you've never had one, it's basically like, well, I think it's like a folded pizza. It's like a pizza that looks a bit like a pasty. It's got all the pizza stuff in the middle and it's so good. And what's good about this recipe is that it is just using my very simple gluten-free dough, which is 3 ingredients slash kind of 2 ingredients with a couple of little extra things. It's literally just yogurt and flour and then some baking powder and stuff. But it's just so easy, and I'm not sure what I'm going to fill it with today, but we'll see what's in the fridge. So yeah, follow along and I will show you exactly how to make what I think is one of my favourite new recipes on the blog. Obviously, as I've already said, this recipe is gluten-free, as are all my recipes, but it's really easy to make it dairy-free, it's really easy to make it vegan, it's really easy to make it lactose-free, and it's also very easy to make it low FODMAP. So it's suitable for us all. And although obviously I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about how to make it in the video, if you want a written recipe and you want all the measurements and stuff, then I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can read it all through and follow along. Okay, so the ingredients for the dough are yogurt. So this is lactose-free Greek yogurt. You can use any yogurt, regular, natural, dairy-free, vegan, whatever you have. I've got some gluten-free self-raising flour. You can actually use plain flour as well, like gluten-free plain flour, and just add a little bit more baking powder. And obviously you can use regular flour, you don't have to use gluten-free if you don't need to. And then I have got some xanthan gum, which I just add a little bit of that to it because it helps with making it more sort of gluten-y in a way, without being gluten-y, yeah. And then some extra baking powder because I just think that it's a good idea because it just makes it have that, I don't know, a bit more of a puff to it, which is good. And then also I just add a little bit of salt to this, completely optional, but I think it brings out the flavour a little bit more. So I'm going to just measure these all out now. So all of my ingredients are in there. The yogurt you can't see, but it's underneath, all the dry stuff, and I'm just going to mix this around until it forms a dough, which doesn't take very long. And yeah, it's kind of like magic. So I will show you it and the consistency of it once it's done. And there you go, it's done now. So that didn't take me very long, probably like, I don't know, less than a minute to put that all together. And now it's a nice sort of, not a wet dough, it's kind of like, you can see a little bit's coming off on my fingers, so it's a little bit sticky. And I make it so that it's a bit wetter than a lot of doughs, because then when I roll it out I can add a bit of flour and it's not going to make too much difference, because if you put flour onto a relatively dry dough it'll just make it even drier, which isn't nice. But yeah, so I'm going to cut this into pieces, 2 maybe 3, not sure, and then I will roll it out, and I'll be rolling it out on a nicely floured surface. Oh, and before I forget, you're going to want to have your oven on a really hot temperature. It helps so much. Pizza ovens and stuff like that, you know, proper ones, go so much higher than this, but you want it to be, you know, I don't go that high, I'm a bit scared, but I'm gonna go sort of 230, and this is fan. Okay, so I've got half of my dough onto a lightly floured surface now. Now, if it's too sticky, for instance, just add a little bit of flour to it, and it shouldn't be too dry, to be honest, but if it was, you would have known about it beforehand, and then you should probably add a little bit more yogurt to your mixture. But I just sort of knead it a little bit, well, just press it down a bit with my hand now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it out using my rolling pin, and I'm going to roll it to about 0.4 centimetres. I think that's what my rolling pin, it's got like a thing on it, so whatever that is, I'm going to roll it so it's fairly thin. Okay, so you can see that I have rolled the dough out. I was aiming for an oval kind of shape, which, I mean, I'm not too far away from. It's not like perfect. So if you want to make it more oval, I sometimes use a pizza cutter and go round it just to sort of make it slightly more oval. And then we will get on with sorting out fillings, which is the next step. Okay, so I've got my fillings here, which I've already sort of chopped up and prepared. So I've got some mozzarella, I've got my homemade sort of pizza sauce, which I've shown before in my pizza video, just passata, some tomato puree, some herbs, dried herbs, and a bit of garlic infused oil and some salt. So it's really simple, nice and thick. You want it thick in this because it's, I don't know, I've tried it thin and I've tried it making the sauce a bit thicker, and the thicker the sauce, the better in my opinion. Then I've got some low FODMAP pepperoni, so this pepperoni has no onion or garlic in it. I've got some freshly chopped chives, because I like them, and we also had some pepper left over, so I've chopped this up to about that sort of size, and I'm going to put it in. But this kind of shows that you can have anything. You can make it without meat, of course, you can make it without cheese, but you can make it with any sort of cheese that you have, whether that be dairy or it can be vegan cheese, and any vegetables you like will work. It's literally up to you. Just like a pizza, you can throw whatever you want on top of it, and it's quite fun to sort of just put something in and see if it tastes good. So you're going to be folding this in half, as I said, so you only want to put filling on one side, so sort of in your head do like a half and only put it on one side, and then you also want to leave a gap around the edge, sort of around here, so I don't know, about 1.5 centimetre gap. I'm not very good with my measurements, but I'll show you what I mean. Honestly, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm not very good at doing anything fiddly like that. It's not difficult. So yeah, that is the reason. So I'm just going to shove a load of stuff in. And also, you don't want to put too much in, but you don't want to put too little in. Don't be scared to put a lot in, but equally don't absolutely fill it bursting, because then I'm pretty sure it will leak. Okay, so as you can see, I've kind of, I don't know if it's half, but I've kind of filled part of my dough up with a mixture of all of my toppings. And then what I'm going to be doing now is folding it. So what you want to do, get some water, and you want to just rub around the edge like this, all the way around the edge, and that's just going to help it like stick together. Right, so you'll see absolutely no difference, but I've put water all the way around the edge, just a little bit. Use my finger, you could use a brush. And now I'm going to fold it over. So you want to fold this, I'll obviously film myself doing it, but you want to fold this over, but you don't want to fold it so that it's like level and touches this, because you want to have the space to crimp. So you can see the filling's all in there now, and there's an edge. We've got a nice edge, and we've got this extra bit here that I'm going to be folding over. And then we will do a bit of egg wash. You could use a milk wash, you could use oil wash, I guess. Cut a few holes in it, which if I don't mention this again, just remember to cut a few holes in it, because mozzarella, if you're using it, is quite a watery cheese, so you need to get some little holes in to get some of the steam out, and then it'll be ready for the oven. So as you can see, I have sort of crimped it all over, and it was literally just me pressing on my finger like that. It looks kind of messy, but it doesn't matter. It's kind of, I say calzone is fairly rustic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to egg wash it, like I said, cut the holes in and put it onto a baking sheet and get it into that super hot oven for the shortest amount of time ever, and you've got calzone. Okay, so it's on the baking sheet now, and this is non-stick, so I didn't put any baking paper down, but if yours isn't, then make sure you do. And then I'm just going to do 3 little slits. And then do my egg wash. Oh, and I almost forgot one of the most important bits. Sprinkle a whole load of cheese on the top, because it just makes it better. So don't forget to do that. So I'm gonna do that now with my left hand, so it's probably not gonna go that well. Oh well. There we go. And then that can go into the oven for 10 minutes or so, but keep watching it because you never know, it might get done sooner. You'll see that it will go all nice and brown and crisp. You don't want it to go too dark brown, you want it to be fairly light in colour, but obviously you want a little bit of golden. Okay, we're ready for the oven. Bye! Bye now! Okay, so I've just realised that there isn't just one person in this family, there's me and Mark, so I kind of need to make another one. So I'm quickly going to make another one whilst that's in the oven, and then when this is ready to come out, I will show you. Ta-da! So there is our first calzone out the oven. You can see it's like nice and golden on top, slightly more pale around the edge bit here. That can be because I didn't put enough egg wash on, or just because in terms of cooking, like these bits will obviously get a bit darker. Got the nice parmesan on top, and it's done. And it's smelling amazing, and I don't know. Seriously, I never thought I could make stuff like this, but I can. So if I can, as I said earlier, you can too. Right, so I think it's time to cut into this because I need to show you what's in it. Oh, I can see the cheese. I can see the ooze. There we go. Does that look all right? I think it looks good. I am very much looking forward to eating this. So you've got the tomato sauce, you've got lots of stringy cheese, there's a little bit of pepperoni there, and there's probably some pepper lurking. But I'd say that's a pretty good alternative to a pizza. To me, calzones are the best, and I am very happy with this one. I mean, come on, you wouldn't know this is gluten-free, would you? You couldn't tell. But it's possible because I just showed you it's possible, and I am going to very, very much enjoy this, and I think Mark is going to too. And he's not gluten-free, but he loves this. So if you've enjoyed this recipe video and want to watch more videos like this, then click up here to watch my gluten-free super simple pizza recipe, and click up here to watch my one pot / one pan recipe ideas. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.